Disclaimer. Please excuse any inconsistencies due to low budgeting. Previously on Catcher in the Rye.
I was damn near bawling. I felt so happy, if you want to know the truth. I don't know why. It was just that she looked so damn nice. The way she kept going round and round in a blue coat and all. God, I wish you could have been there.
This week on Catcher in the Rye.
After I dropped Phoebe off at home and the rain stopped pouring, I decided to go back to the subway station to get my stuff. I felt dizzy again, so I sat down for a minute or two. Figured my stuff wouldn't even be there. Someone probably would have taken it. I wish I had my mittens. It was so goddamn cold. When I got to the subway station, everything was moving too fast. People were rushing to places so they could be home for winter break. They were probably getting together to have one of those phony dinners, pretending to like each other and all. I finally found my locker, but I couldn't remember the damn combo. It was something like 13, 4, 14. I tried opening it a bunch of times, and I remembered that the last number was 16, and I gave it a hell of a yank, and it burst open. My luggage fell down with a loud smack. Bursting open, all my stuff fell to the floor. I was picking up my clothes off the floor when I found a piece of paper. I picked it up and stared at the phone number written on it. Jane Gallagher. It was straight out of one of those corny movies. I decided to give her a buzz, but I hung up after the first ring. If you want to know the truth, I couldn't get the idea of Stradlater and Jane in the back seat of Ed Behnke's car out of my head. But I had to know if she kept her kings in the back row, so I decided to give her another call. I was about to hang up until I heard,
Hello?
"Hi, Jane."
Holden?
"Yeah, it's me. How you been?"
I've been fine. Holden, are you okay?
I'm fine. Would you want to go to dinner tonight and catch up?
Sure, Holden. How's Hive?
That's great. See you at Tony's.
Alright, see you.
I left the subway station and I thought I would walk home. It was about 3 o'clock already, but I didn't feel as tired anymore. As I started to walk home, I remembered my parents would be there. I didn't want them to know I got kicked out of Pensy. It would just kill my mom, and God knows what my dad would do to me. Phoebe was right. I did have to go home. To tell you the truth, I almost did. I didn't have anywhere else to go, so I started walking to Tony's. I figured it would wait a while. I couldn't find any goddamn taxis. Why aren't there never taxis when you need them? I felt like my lungs were gonna explode. I was exhausted. I knew I shouldn't have smoked so much. I sat down in front of Tony's. There was this giant clock across from me, and I started to stare at it. I didn't even notice I was staring at it until some lady came up to me. She was kind of old and creepy, but people get like that sometimes. She started to remind me of Mr. Antolini. God, I hope I never see those son of a bitches again. She seemed kind of nice, not like one of those phonies that usually tries to talk to you. She just sat down. I guess she thought I was lonely. Some people feel so entitled whenever you respond to them. They feel like they gotta keep talking to you. I didn't mind it.
Do you ever feel like your life is just going around in circles?
I used to, but my son died in the war, and ever since I just feel like my life is just frozen.
God, that was depressing. You sort of feel depressed when you hear somebody close to you die. But then she smiled. That made me confused. I didn't ask. She just knew I was confused. Mothers can just do that sometimes.
I just remember how stuck I felt until I went back home to my family. Even though I'm a grown woman, I realized I still need to go home once in a while.
That got me thinking. if I should go home, but I didn't know what to do. We talked for a little bit until she had to go. She was a nice old lady. After she was gone, I figured I looked at the clock some more. It was just going round and round. Then I saw Jane. She was wearing a beautiful dress. God, she was like an angel, I swear. I felt like I could run up right up to her and kiss her, just kiss her all over. Tony was one of those places you didn't really go to unless you had that somebody to go with. It had those real fancy plates with small foods on it and everything. You don't really eat when you go to places like that. Everyone was just talking and holding hands. Didn't break the bank either. We sat down and ordered our foods. She had a big smile on her face and said,
"Hey Holden, how have you been?"
"I've been good.
Well, how's Pensy?
It's pretty good and all.
Do you happen to know a guy named Stradlater?
I never met him, but I heard he's a real moron."
Well, I think he's pretty charming.
Do you like him?
Well, I don't know. I only met the guy once.
He's just a real moron. He's like a secret snob and all. Hey, quick question. Do you keep the kings in your back row? You know, do you? You know, like when we were kids, and we used to keep them in the back row?
Holden, keep your voice down. I'm not trying to create a scene. I've been playing checkers since we were young, and we're not kids anymore. It killed me, it really did. And I wasn't even loud, but to tell you the truth, she was right. We continued eating, but it was awkward as hell. I didn't even feel like talking anymore. The most honest people are the ones who tell you when something's wrong instead of being phonies about it the rest of the time, you know? And after all, I felt more comfortable than I had in a long time. I was heading to the bar. Man, I really needed a drink. I called a taxi. Might as well enjoy my last night before I go home. I don't mind if my parents are mad when I get home. I've been playing this game of checkers long enough. Ernie's bar? The taxi didn't take long at all, actually. It arrived pretty fast. The driver seemed respectful, and I told him to take me to Ernie's. The ride was pretty quiet, so I figured I'd ask, "Where do the ducks go?"
What'd you say, kid?
You know the ducks are in Central Park. Where do they go in the wintertime?
I guess they go home to where they feel safe.
Coke and whiskey, please.
Sorry about that, buddy.
Come on, can you just add a little spice to it?
That's all I could do for you.
Holden! Here, have a drink. Hey, and by the way, that's my dad's new assistant, Lamau. Hey bartender, can I get a piece of paper? Thank you. Hey Holden, have you considered my dad's offer?
I knew it was coming. He always tries to make me talk to his damn dad. He's some kind of psychoanalyst or something. Except this time, I actually thought about it. Jane would have liked that. Yeah, sure.
Well, here's his number. Call him anytime.
That's when I decided to take
his father's telephone number.
Do you have a phone?
That way.
Never expect to see real, honest people in a place like Ernie's, yet he seemed to really care about me. It was a strange feeling. I didn't feel so goddamn lonesome anymore.
Next week on Catcher in the Rye.
That's all I'm going to tell you about. I could probably tell you what I did after, but I went to home and got sick and all, and I don't know what school I'm supposed to go to. I don't know.
Back when I was fun of you. Fun of
Is that?